Paula, Andre, and Janos just gave us a great overview of how WINPACCS and its functions can be used, but how does that look like in everyday work life? That's exactly what we'll dive into now with 3 representatives from different 8 organizations. Let's give a warm welcome to Claudia Görgen, Frank Engel, and Leo Frey. Welcome. It's great to have you with us today. Thank you for taking this time to be here and to speak on the stage. Claudia, you are Head of Finance at DVV International. Where do you live?
I live in Bad Honnef.
Bad Honnef. Yeah. Where's that?
It's nearby in Bonn.
Okay. Frank, you work at Archenova as Deputy Managing Director and Head of Finance and Controlling. And you live in Dresden.
Is a town with a broken bridge.
Yeah. And is it the most beautiful city in Germany, in your opinion?
Oh, it's hard to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, but it isn't. No, I think we have other really beautiful towns in east part of Germany, Leipzig, Berlin, and.
Do you have a favorite city?
Dresden.
Dresden, okay. Leo, you are Head of Finance Department at HELP. What's your favorite place in the world?
Oh, you mean like also city-wise? Yeah.
You can choose.
If it wouldn't be for family reasons, I would probably live in Nairobi.
Nairobi?
Yes, in Kenya.
Why is
it's
that?
Like, yeah, I've spent some time there and I have a lot of good friends and a lot of good memories of that place.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can keep the mic.
Oh, thank you.
HELP has been using WINPACCS for many years now.
Many years.
What do you find most exciting about WINPACCS?
Yeah, the thing I like the most, I think, is robustness and accessibility, I would say. In terms of accessibility, I basically mean exactly what Günther Hermann just mentioned before, like the idea, I haven't heard it in this way before, like using an accounting system for non-accountants, but the principle, I think, is still pretty much the same, yeah? Like giving access to people maybe from different backgrounds, which is not exactly accounting, but and making it accessible for them to be part of a bigger accounting system effectively. And the other part is, of course, robustness. I think what we hate the most is when things break down, collapse, and things are out of control. And for me, really, WINPACCS just feels like something which is hard to break. Correct me if you see it otherwise, but it's like, that's a good thing, especially in our disaster context that we work in this dynamic setup.
Right. And is there like a specific feature or tool that you find especially helpful?
Yeah. First, we have to keep in mind, I'm like management level, so I'm not posting myself in WINPACCS. If I did, my colleagues catch me, I'm in trouble. Yeah, you're head of finance. You're not supposed to post. Don't mess up stuff. So for me, it's more like the higher level. By the way, I like the new features presented here, especially the overall controlling point of view, like having a consolidated view on what's going on in your project. But if I would. From my perspective, I think the whole interface and interconnectedness of WINPACCS is probably the feature, I don't know if you can call it a feature, that I appreciate the most. Yeah, I sit in my company accounting, which is DATEV. I know some of you use it as well. Let's not go into that too much.
Who uses DATEV as well? Anyone?
they are shy to admit, maybe. It's like, but there are a few I know from previous discussions. No, but of course, we kind of grab all of our data that are collected in all over the world by hundreds of accountants or people doing accounting, and that we can take all this and put it in our company data with some kind of shared chart of accounts. This is basically probably what I find the most useful aspect in terms of structure and setup, and I'm very happy that this is possible with WINPACCS.
Claudia, as DVV International, similar to Leo, you have been using WINPACCS for many years. In fact, since 2012.
Yeah.
What has been your experience using WINPACCS?
So just like Leo already said, it's the accessibility to be able for different people to deal with it in our countries, but also accessibility with regard to the internet. So we've got the local program without using internet, and then being able to upload the data so that we all can share the data. So we can deal with these internet problems we still have in some countries. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to digitalization, what significance does it have in your organization?
So there are different layers of digitalization in, I think, in every company. We are on the way to be digitalized in our processes in our headquarters in Bonn. So this is a hard way. But we have to say that our donors still love paper. So we are forced to.
I can imagine, yeah.
We are forced to do everything in paper with them. But now they're going to be digitalized as well. And WINPACCS is a big part of our steps to be digitalized, because we are able to see the vouchers. Formerly, we sent vouchers via email, lots and lots of vouchers. For example, we had an audit from our donor, I think it was 2 years ago. They sent us a list of vouchers they wanted to have a look at in. So we had to tell our project countries, please send within 5 days 100 vouchers.
Oh my gosh.
They had to scan it and then send it via email. Despite the topic of data protection, sending via email, it is always not that good. It was a hell of a work for them. Then we had to print it out in Bonn and then present it to the donor. It was totally
very complicated.
ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we are able to give them an access to WINPACCS Cloud, where we do have the digital vouchers, and they can have a look at it as well. And even we on the management level or in the controlling level, they are able to have a look at it and to have cross views in the project. So this is really, really good for us.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that this makes your work life much easier. Yeah. Frank, compared to the other two organizations, Archinova is relatively new to WINPACCS. What were the biggest challenges in accounting and project management before you introduced WINPACCS?
The most problem was or is we were in the rollout. We have now finished 2 countries, and in front of us are 4 countries more. And then we finished the setup for WINPACCS.
So you are still in the process of introducing WINPACCS?
Yes, we are in the introducing process. And so we have a both system at the moment. That's not really the best situation, but that's what's happened when you start with WINPACCS. And with the old system, the most problem is we have not the overview for all the projects. We have lots of local accountants, Excel sheets, and something like this. And we have some documentation in the Nextcloud. We have lots of things around the world, and you don't have the overview in in the middle of the year, you have the overview on the end of the year. When you this final annual final statement create, but in the middle of the year you have not really the overview, not really good controlling, not really. It's not easy to check the bank balances and something like this. And for a small NGO, I think it's the way to start with these systems. But if you have more programs and more projects, then it's not the way you can work.
Yeah. And you said you are still in the process of introducing WINPACCS, but what has changed since you started that process?
The most things that changed that all the team members understand that it's not a new software, that is a new system. We have to understand also more what we are doing. Not all the people in the process have to understand what has the other people to do and what I have to do. And yes, that is a really interesting process. We have lots of discussion about the workflows and the things the people do in the country offices, in the head offices, and it's really interesting process. And yeah, I'm happy about this.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Leo, help plays an important role in the ongoing development of WINPACCS, especially when it comes to meeting the needs of mid-sized organizations. And previously you worked for Aktion Deutschland Hilft, I think for almost 10 years, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. And you gained there a broad insight into different aid organizations. Based on your experience, what are the biggest challenges for aid organizations in digital, financial, and project management?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Aktion Deutschland Hilft is like a network of mostly humanitarian organizations, and the positions that I had was similar to the perspective of a donor, because you receive a lot of proposals basically from organizations. Yeah, so the biggest challenge, especially for the, let's say, humanitarian disaster part of this scene, is, I would say, we have a super huge tendency to reinvent the wheel over and over again. Maybe this is also due to how some settings are structured. Things happen and you have to find a solution. So every time you start basically from scratch again in one way or another. So there's a lot of, I would say it lacks really overall standardization in many ways. Many people don't see this, especially when they work for one organization for a long time. They think, hey, it's absolutely clear how we work, and then they go somewhere else and say, hey, what are you doing here? That's wrong. You have to, and this gets particularly true when you dive into the whole finance, when you deal with real numbers, and real data sets, and you cannot just do it like this, but things have to be exact.
But why is that? Like, why do they lack
I think it's because all of us, we are, and you could see when you spoke to the participants here, the backgrounds of the people are very, very different. Yes, there are things like university courses in humanitarian assistance, financial management, and so on, but people come from usually, in reality, maybe they studied geography or whatever, and they ended up here in an organization. And add to this, like, the super international setup we have, like diverse national regulations that we have to meet, some in the, for example, in the Francophone area, some in English-speaking countries, some in Swahili-speaking areas, whatever. And yeah, it's really hard to get at least some level of standardization which applies and can be reused. And this is a big challenge, and that's also why I like to see more people here, for example. We are in Team WINPACCS, obviously, and this is one way to standardize at least part of our work. And so, yeah, this is the challenge, and I'm happy that we try to work on the solution here.
So WINPACCS helps in that regard. Is there something else where WINPACCS could be useful in the challenges that mid-sized organizations meet?
Yeah, I mean, I think this aspect is one of the most important ones. And what I mentioned before, yeah, providing some reliability. I think this is another reason. You spoke about Excel before, and what is the problem with Excel? I have no personal problem with Excel, but it is obviously a tool which provides less reliability, of course, if you go to a high level. And yeah, so we, at least I can sleep better with WINPACCS. That came out wrong, sorry.
I think that's a good quote. You should put it on a website. I can sleep better with WINPACCS. Claudia, we spoke earlier about the importance of digitalization in your organization. Do you have, like you mentioned, the vouchers, but do you have another specific example that illustrates the role WINPACCS plays in the process of digitalization?
So I think it's empty. Oh,
no.
Okay. I didn't hear me. So I already mentioned the vouchers. That's the most important thing for us, that we can see the vouchers, and also we can see the bookings. So we are. It is a tool where everyone can have a look at from everywhere. That's the most important thing for us.
Frank, did you face any challenges introducing WINPACCS?
No, absolute nothing.
Nothing? Wow. You should put that on the website too.
No, it's of course we did a lot of fails, and that's normal, yeah. And I think it's hard to understand. That's a really big process for the whole organization, and yeah, we have a really good support. I didn't get money from MBI, but we had a really good support from Mr. Scharmann, and for all the other people who think about WINPACCS, you can ask Mr. Scharmann about the real resources you need and what's happened with the organization with WINPACCS, and yeah, you need definitely resources for this, and I think at the moment I cannot say we make big mistakes, but the steps was not really clear all the time. Maybe we discussed sometimes too much about things, and yeah, but ask me in a year, and then I will tell you about maybe, but I hope we don't make really big mistakes, but small mistakes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I will ask you at the next symposium in 2 years. Great. So you have shared some experiences you had with WINPACCS. What wishes do you have for the future development of WINPACCS? Claudia, why don't you start?
So just as you said in your introduction, stay as you are, and that means for me, stay as you are, developing and being as kind, as supporting as you are. And I think we are together, we are on a good way. So the contact between us is very good, and I think we, yeah, it is an advantage for you, MBI, and us as well.
Thank you. Leo, what wishes do you have?
Yeah, I would agree. Stay true to your principles. In terms of change, we've already heard it before, the whole field of customization and agile processes. This is something I would love to go more in direction to. But yeah.
Good. Frank, what about you?
I have not really the big experience with WINPACCS, but I think for us, partner book is a really big step for us. We have lots of partners with low-level accounting and different systems, and I think to import this via Excel is maybe a good way. Yeah, to have a good cooperation with the partners. Where they, I think it's could be a really good way, and I think it's for us it's really a good thing, the partner book.
Last question to all of you. Among our audience, there are people who consider switching to WINPACCS, who don't use WINPACCS yet. What advice or experiences would you like to share with them? Leo, please start.
Yeah, easy answer. Get yourself some kind of, I'm not supposed to use this term too much because we don't use it anymore, but a WINPACCS team, yeah? Like, I have the privilege to have a wonderful team, which is kind of, yeah, which are much bigger experts in WINPACCS that I will probably ever be. And yeah, they deliver super huge support to, yeah, basically hundreds of accountants worldwide.
Yeah, to us, the WINPACCS team is very important as well. We channel our knowledge. It is very important. And I think, so one important thing also is to get your stuff going with you this way. So it's one thing, you want to implement WINPACCS and have the discussions with the with MBI and so on, but you have to get the stuff even abroad with you to go this way. This is very important.
Frank?
Yeah, the WINPACCS team is really a good thing, and I think it's really important that you know it's you need more resources for the start. Yeah, you have the daily business with your old systems, and you're not happy with the old systems, and you're busy, and so it's not possible to do it by the way, with the normal way, WINPACCS on the top of the daily business. You need more resources. That's what you have to understand. And then in the future, maybe you need less personality, but on the beginning you need more for this investigation, for this investment. And that is what you have to understand. And yeah, you have to train all the people. That's also a long way, and but yeah, I think we have good partners with MBI or with other organizations. You can ask. I think it's possible, but you need resources.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. We still have time for a few questions from the audience, like people who are here in person, but also people in the live stream. So please don't be shy. Just raise your hand.
Yes, I found it very good information that you told that it's very important to involve the user in the field, in the whole process, and I see it the same way. I think maybe it's the key for success of a software that you get the user behind the new software, and we see this, and that's why we also organize this symposium in a live stream. It's quite hard for us to organize it now, I think the second or third time, but we have seen this and thought we want to integrate the people abroad also in this process of discussing and showing new functions. And my question is now, is there any more? Do you have any more ideas where we can support you in this process to make to involve the users in the field in the process of developing WINPACCS or
Who wants to start? Yeah?
Okay. So I already mentioned to André Scharmann yesterday, I think the symposium and the customer day is very, very important for us for this exchange. But I would love to have a space for accounting problems. So our users do have accounting problems. They don't have a problem with is there a feature programs or something like that, or an overall controlling. This is our topic. But yeah, accounting problems. How do I deal with special things which come up?
Leo, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I love this point, absolutely. And it just came to a moment, when you ask me about favorite features, I think the whole aspect of that, for me, WINPACCS is not only a software, it's like also some consulting support and so many in accounting questions, also learning via you what works and what doesn't. That is absolutely crucial and already there in terms of how to support us or the colleagues in our country offices more. I think, and this has been a discussion yesterday already, some customers prefer to have like perfect finished features when they are presented to them and are confused when things are less than perfect. I'm not that kind. I prefer to see early results and that you show us what you changed quick so we can give you feedback. And this as a way forward is something that I would, I see it already. And but from my side, as far as I'm concerned, we could even have more of that.